Hello and welcome to another Ris3n competitive clash cast. I'm Revolt. I'm joined here by Renegade. How you doing?
Yeah, no, I mean, just to finish up what we were talking about earlier, Fear Dragon is the best caster. I totally agree.
Probably my personal favorite, yeah.
Are we live? Shit.
Ah!
And I'm Renegade.
R to the Renegade, I believe it is. But, ooh, it's a TVT. So, for those of you that don't know, you know what? Let's introduce him first, Renegade. You want to start us off?
Yeah, in the top middle of Purity and Industry, as the Purple Terran from Ris3n Competitive, it's Ris3n.
And spawning down in the middle right area on this map, it's the yellow Terran player. It is Kilmanjaro. And an important thing to note here, Ren, right, is this is not a TVT series. This is a TV. Yeah, you can. I gotta turn Ren up. That's a good point. Turn Ren up. This is a Terran versus random.
Yeah. Of course, Ris3n, you might be like, he's not Protoss. What's going on here? Terran is like his secondary race by about 500 games, but he is playing random this series, so I hate seeing players pick random in tournaments unless it's like against a Protoss. Because
and then it's really annoying.
It's like, we're gonna reach a scenario at game 4 where it's like, wow, Ris3n rolled Zerg and he's dead. It's over. The game's over, right? But Ris3n is at least Diamond 1 with all 3 races. He's a Masters 2 Protoss, so we'll see how he does here against Kilmanjaro. And this is the first time in approximately 40 games that have been casted over the past 24 hours that we've seen Purity and Industry.
I know, I'm so excited, dude. It's been banned every single time.
And imagine it's between 2 Terran players right now, so of course.
Oh, gotta love it. But again, one thing that I also know to be true, right? Again, Protoss definitely Ris3n's most, the race he's most accustomed with. But I know from like looking at what he said, he has been playing an amount of random. So with like you said, he's D1. With no race, are we seeing someone who's like has no experience? He's someone who's competent enough to play all 3 races, at a pretty high level. And I feel like that the unpredictability of random, even against Terran, which they can typically adapt, it's still a little bit of an advantage,
Yeah. I feel like this is a weird build from Ris3n.
Yes, it is.
This is banking on the fact that your opponent's gonna hit you with some Hellions. And I don't know that Kilmanjaro is going to get aggressive, given that he's only getting 2 out onto the field right now. I guess he's going up to 4. But even so, the Hellions can just, like, run away very quickly once they see there's Marauders on the field, right?
Yeah, and this Liberator especially, unless he gets the Cyclone out here from the factory, could prove very difficult to deal with. But, I mean, oh, it's a tank, actually. That's going to be brutal. But this kind of Marauder-based opening with slow is something I've actually seen Coda do in the past in competitive matches.
Whoa, sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but Ris3n has gone into double star.
Oh, goodness. Yes! Yes! Purity and Industry, more like Purity and Memory, am I right?
So, this is very clearly a play from Ris3n to deter...
It's double reactor?
The Hellions from going in.
It's double reactor. It's not double tech lab.
I don't know.
It's double reactor. Renegade, what's going
on?
I'm
scared.
I don't know, dude. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Make it stop.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Hellions are going to come in. The lock-on's going to come in, and nothing's going to die, but he is going to get forced back. There's too much beefiness in the army here for Ris3n, for Kilmanjaro's Hellions to get really much of anything done. But what?
So, yeah, like we were mentioning earlier, though, okay, alright, the Cyclone's gonna force away the Liberator.
5 kills, though. Oof. Don't worry, he'll have enough Vikings. He's making 3 Vikings at a time.
So, Ris3n's Immortal, or, not Immortals. Marauders were not spread out at the front, so all the Hellions... That's 13, 14, 15...
Oh, the Cyclone ran into the Liberator field in the background. And, I mean, he's going to get these Vikings out now, and certainly he shouldn't be scared of Liberators anymore, but... I mean, 16 workers, looking at the worker discrepancy at this point, it's massive.
He should be afraid of Liberators right now, because...
Oh, no, it's...
His Vikings just entered the slow zone, and here's the siege up on the mineral.
Gets 3 more, and a fresh mule. That's just brutal. I mean, talk about the most worth Liberator of all time. It's effectively put Kilmanjaro in a dominating position here in map number 1.
So, by the time these Vikings hit the other side of the map, Kilmanjaro is actually going to have more more Vikings than Styx.
Yeah, he's going to get the 5th one out. Yeah, you're right. And the second tank is now out. And, I mean, these Marauders, I mean, if they can get onto the tanks, they can deal a bit of damage. But, I mean, they don't have stim or anything. I think Styxbender's best chance here is trying to land his Vikings on the tanks and just go for a bust. And I'm guessing that's what we're going to see here. So outside of these 2 tanks, there's really not much of anything. Oh, here's the scan. Oh, the Cyclone's out as well. Actually, the first tank gets picked off, and so far, not going horribly for Styxbender. Alright, well, that's not good. Oh, here comes Kilmanjaro. He's going to do the SCV pull while the Vikings land on the tanks. Everything gets cleared out, and this push just got deflected. 13 SCVs go down, but Kilmanjaro's still up 6 workers, and very importantly, his 3rd CC is done. Styxbender's hasn't begun yet.
Styxbender is committing to mass Viking. I can't say that I've ever seen this before, and I cast many games of StarCraft every single day.
Well, Purity of Industry has a short airspace, actually, Renegade. I don't know if you knew that.
Actually, I hate to break this to you. There's these things called good game design zones.
Good game design zones? Those sound fantastic.
Those actually slow your units down by 50%, so it's double the distance if you think about it.
Oh, actually, we're seeing a Viking clash in the middle of the map. It looks like Styxbender is going to force Kilmanjaro back. But again, right, he's going to have air control, and air control in TVT, obviously, super important, but not at the cost of everything else, right? If you have all the air control in the world, if he's got twice as many tanks and, like, cyclones and shit, like...
Yeah, well, the idea of air control is so that you have vision for your tanks.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's caught in the good game design zones, Renegade, oh, no.
Yeah, and you might be like, why is Styxbender engaging here? Well, he would actually take an additional 2 volleys from these if he retreated through the good game design zones before they could hit escape velocity. So it's really
sad but true.
If you think about it, like an improvement to the game of StarCraft through good game design.
Sad but true. I mean, Styxbender, he certainly went for a unique strategy here, but I mean, at this point, Kilmanjaro's macro is going to really kick into high gear. That 3rd base is landed. It's about to be fully mining. He's getting 1-1 upgrades, and we're about to just see a huge swell of units, of which I can't imagine Styxbender is going to be able to muster a defense against.
Yeah, I mean, there's... do you know about the IQ circle, Revolt? The circle of IQ?
Tell me, Renegade. Tell me of this circle.
So, as established by parting, there's... The max limit to your IQ is 5,100. Now, had this worked, we might be able to say Styxbender had 5,100, but like at this point, it's resetting back down to 5 because like even with the Viking advantage, Styxbender just keeps flying through the good game design zones and getting caught out on the other side, where Kilmanjaro's inferior amount of Vikings can just volley them down, and Styxbender doesn't have any way to retreat. Kilmanjaro has the ability to pull his Vikings back when they're injured, to save them, to drop repairs, etc. And Styxbender just can't break through here. And now he's stuck with this cloud of units that he can't really do anything with. While Kilmanjaro has built up a formidable force of Cyclones, of Hellions, and tanks that he can dominate the map with. And on a huge map like Purity and Industry, having map dominance is really difficult. But Kilmanjaro is going to be able to take as many expansions as he wants here. You can see him already building a 4th, while Styxbender completes a 3rd, but is going to have a hard time moving that out to location.
Yeah, and the value of these Cyclones can't be overstated in these Viking Wars as well. Now that he's got the backfield accelerators, they do super, super crazy damage to armored units. He's actually dabbing on the tanks right now, picks one off for free, and even this CC is under threat. I mean, these Cyclones effectively neutralize any Viking advantage the six-bedder might have. And he's gonna, I feel like, really, really struggle to get this third place landed on location.
Oh, no, he's not. He's actually going to move it to the island.
I love it. I love it. If there's an island base, I'm happy that we got it. You know, if we're gonna get one match on Purity Industry, we might as well see an island base, right?
Now, what's gonna happen here is Kilmanjaro is going to win this game, okay? But Stickspender can take the island base and put up missile turrets so that Kilmanjaro can never actually kill him. This is peak StarCraft right now.
Peak StarCraft. Until any number of Yamato having battlecruisers show up, he will be fine.
No, because a Yamato will actually not take out a missile turret, so Stickspender can repair the missile turret while it's being Yamato.
It's a foolproof strategy.
And remember, there's these good game design zones, so battlecruisers are going to have to engage the missile turrets and take a couple extra shots of damage as they try to...
In the chat, just Kyojin asking what the RCC is. The RCC is the Ris3n Competitive Clash. It's an internal tournament held for members of Ris3n Competitive. I've linked the bracket in the chat. Hey, Kyojin says we're his favorite streamers. I love Kyojin.
Aw,
what a nice man.
Kyojin.
What a nice man. But yeah, this is a internal tournament between Ris3n Competitive members. And this is the round of 12. As the winner of this match, I believe, goes on to face Stalix? Yes, Stalix.
Was Stalix one of the members seeded into round?
Yeah, luck of the draw.
Right.
Luck of the draw that he gets to lose this match, no matter who wins this match.
So yeah, I mean, this is. Would you say it's fair to say that there's a lot of Masters players in this tournament, Revolt?
There's a lot of what?
Masters players in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean everybody here is Masters, yeah.
Okay. Right.
Or has been in the very recent future. I mean, like Stickspender...
Except GT Kung, but we'll make an allowance for him. Okay,
well, we made an allowance for him because he is a player who's been very close and participated for Ris3n Competitive.
And it's also a Ris3n internal league, right?
Yes.
Would you say it's some form of Ris3n Masters internal league?
You know, that's not actually the terms that I would use to be a descriptor. I would go with the Ris3n Competitive Clash. Just as a better ring to it. And you know, that's what we're calling it, you know. But anyway, here comes Kilmanjaro.
It seems suspicious.
It does seem suspicious, but here we are. It looks like Stickspender is kind of crumbling against the huge discrepancy in tank count at this point.
Call me crazy, but there's a world where Stickspender focused his shots on the tanks, and they're so grouped up here for kill. They could have all gone down to splash damage, but he targeted the Hellbats instead. So...
Yeah. And the Vikings of Kilmanjaro are actually in the main. Kilmanjaro putting on a show here. His TVT in the past has looked quite impressive, and it looks like we're seeing more of the same here, as at least in game number 1. And to be fair, in maybe the most favored matchup he could have gotten, he just put on a dominating performance. It's got to be said.
I think we might be about to see a mass exodus of these buildings to the island.
Call me crazy, but...
Oh no, he reset the tank count!
Yeah, but he's still at half his supply. Right, at this point, we go back across the map. I mean, +3 attack, +1 air, Vikings, a Thor, more tanks. I mean, Stickspender just can't keep up. He clears that army, and there's already a bigger one. He's at almost half the army supply, I mean, or less than half the army supply. And yeah, I mean that's talk about a mountain to climb. He's getting the turrets though at the island. I see him. He's got the turrets.
Yeah. I called this. All right, so this Viking push is actually going to take out like 3 CCs maybe. This is actually pretty huge. Kilmanjaro doesn't have quick moving units to respond to this. There's 1 CC, and it's an orbital.
Yeah, I feel like you just kind of let this die though, and you go camp the production of Stickspender though, right? Like, if you camp the production, he can kill your 4th and 5th, but if he has 1 base and no production, I mean, it don't matter.
He can't get across the map fast enough.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Viking count. It looks like it is dead ass even. So if this Thor gets involved or any of the Cyclones get involved, that will tip the advantage, of course, into Kilmanjaro's favor. Oh, wait, was that Kilmanjaro scanning around the map? I think it was. Yeah, he hasn't scanned the island yet, though, has he? Nope, he hasn't scanned the island. He doesn't know. He doesn't know about the island base. Okay, here comes an arrow. Ooh.
Yeah, there goes all of Sixbender's Vikings. He can't engage this ever now.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's going through the slow zone.
Oh no, the good game design zones. That's gonna bleed out. Oh, actually, Kilmanjaro cuts off his advance a little bit and maybe misses a shot there, but yeah, I mean the Viking advantage is pretty much what Sticksbender has in his favor right now, and.
Okay, so have you seen Home Story Cup or listened to Tempo's latest song?
Yeah, I think so. I think both of those is a yes for me.
Yeah, so Tempo actually wasn't talking about Home Story Cup 20. He was talking about Sticksbender's Tropical Island, which he has, and is keeping him in this game.
It's true. It looks like this island is more of the purity than the industry.
Right. If you've watched the GSL Super Tournament, you'll know that Tasteless actually, he was talking to the game designers and letting us know that these pollution vents are actually part of the lore. They're
part of the lore
and taking over the purity. This is the end of Sixbender's army.
Yeah, and I think it's his end of any hope in the game. GG is called, and Kilmanjaro is going to take game number 1. Well played. Now that is going to toss map pick here to Sticksbender, but I feel like when you're playing random, like it's really hard to kind of strategically pick maps if you don't know what race you're going to get.
Sticksbender saying that damn Liberator made out of butter. I'm not sure that's what lost him that game.
I mean, I think it kind of is. That Liberator got him like 15 kills at the beginning of the game. I mean, you could make an argument that Kilmanjaro might have won out either way, but I mean, that damage certainly was pivotal in the outcome of that game.
Oh, so you're saying Sticksbender is talking about Kilmanjaro's Liberator, not...
I would think so.
Because it's made of butter because it was slippery. I got this.
Yeah, yeah, and it killed like fucking everything. Yeah. It was a value liberator, but we're going to have to see if anything's different here in this map, as again, it's random. He could roll anything. Both the players are ready. We're going to get on into game number 2 here. And let's talk a little bit about the next possible match here, Renegade. Whether it is Kilmanjaro, who, to be fair, is the favorite here, or Sticksbender that advances, how do you think they'll fare against Alex, someone who's notoriously has his best matchup as ZVT?
I mean, it depends if Sticksbender plays random again, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's another TVT.
It is.
Once again, it's Terran Sticksbender.
And down in the bottom right-hand corner, he will probably be decently happy seeing that his opponent got Terran. It's Kilmanjaro. As I feel like, I mean, I think I've seen all of Sticksbender's races, and I mean, his Protoss is definitely his best, right? Like, he's also okay, he's proxying, right? Like, who sends out an SCV that early? Okay, he sent out 2 SCVs. Okay, he's definitely proxying. But he hasn't started a gat. Is this Reapers? I mean, it has to be, right? Like, you can't proxy Marines and TVT.
You can. I mean, you sure can. You can also proxy Marauders, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just feel like proxy Marines isn't that great.
I don't think it's going to be proxy Marines, given that we do see a refinery behind
us.
Oh,
there it is. Yeah, so it's probably going to be either Marauders or Reapers. But with this slate of a gas, I feel like it's going to be Marauders. That way he can just get that tech lab up as soon as this Rax finishes. But Kilmanjaro's scout is going across the map, so he's going to see nothing. And I mean, that's a pretty decent clue that there's a proxy, you know?
Yeah. I feel like Simulacrum is a decent map to do this on, though. The rush distance isn't the longest. That means your units are going to hit a couple seconds earlier, and Okay, alright. Yeah, Kilmanjaro drops a bunker on the high ground, so this better be Marauders from Sixbender.
It is. Yeah, the tech lab's done. It is definitely going to be Marauders with slow. Ooh, bunker on the high ground. Ballsy play there. Okay, he's going to get one there as well. Huh. So, I mean, that bunker's going to get shut down really hard.
This is over. That's not a bunker. That's an engineering.
Oh, that's an engineering... Wait, why did he build it? What? Oh, he built it for vision, I guess? I guess? Yeah, that SCV's going to get picked off on lower ground. That's going to deny that bunker.
So, you know, I was saying Marine here for a little bit. I want to explain my rationale behind that. So do you see what Sixbender's doing here? Just dumpstering the SCVs of Sixbender. So Kilmanjaro could have been in the opposite position. If Sixbender had got out the first Marine, he totally could have stopped this bunker from being built on the high ground, thrown down a bunker of his own, and then the Marauders would hit just a couple seconds later, but to a much less defended Kilmanjaro.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Kilmanjaro is... I mean, like you said, it's over, right? Like, this bunker's up on the high ground. He's got no way outside of lifting a building to get safe high ground vision. I mean, and...
I wouldn't say it's...
I mean, the huge clock here is once a tank or a cyclone comes out, he's done, right? Like, there's not really great follow-up to that.
Sure, but there's still a window for Sixbender to get up 7... Well, he
loses a Marauder, and for HP on the bunker, that just gets repaired. I mean, and once this tank is out, there's just no way that he busts this.
Once you get out like 7 Marauders, it's a 3 volley on the bunker. If he breaks in there, storms in on the tank, he can definitely... But I think, you know, bleeding out that initial Marauder was pretty huge. And it seems like his macro slipped a little bit somewhere. Oh, he's supply blocked as well. Okay. Now this is definitely a dead Sixbender.
Yeah, and this Banshee, I mean, if the tank isn't the nail in the coffin, and the bunkers aren't the nail in the coffin, it's certainly the Banshee that's going to do it. Here he comes up the ramp, bleeds out 2 Marauders for, you know, what, a 10th of that bunker's HP. And Sixbender's going to play it out, but I mean, there's nothing you can do here. This Banshee ends the game.
It really feels like I'm 12 again, and me and you are just like looking into Kilmanjaro's toy box. We're like, whoa, you got a siege tank? That'll really kill Sixbender. And to be, whoa, you must have done a lot of chores to get that, right? Like, your parents are loaded.
You got a tank.
It's gonna have cloak. It's the special edition cloak Banshee. Wow, Sixbender really has nothing like this. He just has like 1 Pokemon card.
Yeah, dude, his mom didn't go and get the Express Yu-Gi-Oh pack, and now he's gonna face the Banshee. This Banshee is gonna say, "Hello, Marauders." GG is called in Kilmanjaro. After 2 TVTs, takes a quick 2-0 in the series and puts himself at match point.
You've done this to yourself, Sixbender. You were the chosen one. You were meant to play Protoss, not random.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to some extent, right, I feel like it's an unfortunate draw to get TVT against Kilmanjaro twice in a row.
I mean, this is just bad strategy, though, right? Like, you have one race that you're really good at. This is a for-money tournament. If it was for fun, you know, this is more like, well...
Can't it be both, Renegade? Can't it be both? Can't we have both money and fun?
No, they are actually
totally separate.
Exclusive. Do you go to work sometimes, Revolt? Is that fair to say?
Fair point.
Can you say that you've had fun at work today? I think not.
I cannot say that. So you know what? Fair point. But yeah, I mean, so far, Kilmanjaro, like you said, it was kind of a wonky build there from Sixbender, but he put on probably the perfect response there. And, I mean, as Sixbender, you have to be very nervous because he got put down pretty hard twice in a row there. But Eternal Empire Map 3, and if he doesn't get Terran, I mean, Eternal Empire is a very good Terran map, so... And it's a very, very good mech map, and we know that Kilmanjaro likes him some mech. Have you ever imagined what it would be like if Wrath was 40 years younger, Renegade?
Wrath in his prime. at the age of 50, I can't imagine.
If Wrath was 40 years younger, and then he was also 20 years younger after the initial 40 years, that would be Kilmanjaro.
I don't know. Haven't we seen, like, 1 or 2 barracks units so far?
That's true, and Wrath doesn't make those. That's actually illegal for Wrath. He can't.
Okay,
he's not allowed to make barracks units.
I hate to be the bringer of non-hype, but Sixbender just rolled Zerg.
I don't think that's going to go well for him.
I feel like we're about to see him fall to the losers bracket.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player in his own right, but Kilmanjaro is he's a different beast. And I feel like, especially considering we're on Eternal Empire, which is a very good Terran map. I know we do see a pool first, so maybe there's some shenanigans that he can pull. But like,
I hate to tell you, I'm gonna be the bad guy here. This is a 17 pool, 16 gas. You play a little bit of Zerg, right, Revolt?
I've been known to dabble, certainly. Yeah.
What builds can you do off of a 17 pool, 16 gas with no expansion?
You're pretty limited. I feel like he's kind of boxed into going with a 1-base bust at this point. I mean, there's no hatch, so he's pretty much got to go roaches. He's not really going to have the larva for anything else.
I don't think he can go roaches. The warren's so late. If you're going to do that, the gas is, more importantly, the gas is so late.
Yeah, that's true. He would want to get the second one. Yeah, yeah.
And he just has like, if you're going to go roaches,
no, it's
you
gonna
have
be
no
roaches.
expansion for no reason.
Right? Yeah, he's going to go roaches. It looks like, I mean, if it was going to be the Ravager Ling bust, we would have seen the second gas, but we don't see it. But, I mean, Kilmanjaro scouts that right away. So, he's proxy hatching. I like that, but...
Oh, okay. This makes a little more sense now. You right. The proxy hatch, actually, I'll eat my words here.
What do they taste like?
You know what? They taste like Kleenex.
Kleenex.
Sponsored.
Hashtag sponsored. Everyone, support Kleenex, the indomitable sponsor of Ris3n competitive events.
Look,
if they ever find out that we say this, we are going to get sued, so please nobody tell them. But at the same time, support Kleenex.
If you've run out of toilet paper to eat and you're stuck in quarantine, which you shouldn't, you should have hoarded that already. Kleenex is a pretty good nutritional choice after that, all right? So
I mean, let's not forget their slogan, Kleenex, wipe your ass with a tissue.
Whoa, we were just talking. Why would you wipe your ass with a food supply? I'm really confused here. We're sending out mixed messages. We have to have a meeting after this.
Well,
I apologize to
corporate's not going to be happy about this whole exchange, but you know what? We'll get through it anyway.
So this is some kind of 5 roach rush. Well, he's morphing in 3 Ravagers as well, but you really need a lot of Lings to back them. It's going to be hard for Stixbender to break through here with the bunker out and the Cyclone. He will hit a little bit before the Cyclone comes out. Oh, he's morphing into okay, so 5 Ravagers.
That's a lot of Ravagers, and this is going to be a hold that's going to require Kilmanjaro to handle things pretty precisely. Now, the Cyclone is a huge boon to him, but actually, I think he wants that Overlord. Okay, he's moving it up a little bit closer. He wants to keep dropping these biles. Every moment that passes is good for Kilmanjaro here.
He needs to be biling behind. There we go. There we go. But
great
that
dodge,
needed
though.
To be happening like seconds ago. Here comes the Cyclone.
Oh, no.
It's going to force away the Overlord.
Oh, it gets picked off by a bile and a Ravager shot. That's a huge deal.
All right, so it appears that Stixbender has lost 6 IQ, wrapping him around from 5 IQ to 5,100.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, things get really dicey. These Ravagers can zone the Marines off of the high ground, and that Cyclone is the primary tool you have to get, like, safe damage done. A bile going to come in and kill 3 SCVs. This tank's got to get set up out of range of biles. But, I mean, Kilmanjaro's made this very, very dicey for himself.
Well, Stixbender has backed off. That was a huge mistake. He can still bio the other supply. There's nothing to shoot the Overlord, really, except that 1 Marine. He's biling the 3rd, and there's going to be a Banshee. All of a sudden, I feel like Stixbender is kind of throwing his aggression here.
Yeah, but, I mean, a Queen and a Spore will at least be able to zone away the Banshee. But I agree, this tank, especially positioned where it is, does present a huge, huge problem here for Stixbender. It did move up a little bit, but it gets a huge tank shot off onto the Ravager. Oh, great transfuse there, though. Actually baits the Banshee for it. Oh, and he almost gets it. This is crazy. But now he's got no high ground vision. That's a problem. Oh, he's got another Overlord en route, though.
Usually, when you're doing this kind of proxy hatch and the Terran's defended like this, what you want to do is spread as much creep as possible, just delay the Nat, because you're never going to break into the... Oh, that was a
That's one tank. And if Kilmanjaro doesn't move, he's going to get a second tank in a similar fashion.
Stickspender has not expanded.
That tank is dead. That tank is dead. I don't know, Ren. I don't know. There's 3 CCs, right? If Kilmanjaro holds, obviously winning this game is a formality for him. But right now, he's under a tremendous amount of pressure. He lost both the tanks. There's one more on the way. This Banshee is getting zoned away by Queens and Spores.
Why is he not lifting this? There we go.
Ugh.
There we go. I'd even put it, like, in the backpack. Oh, but he's dropped a fusion core, so he can't...
Yeah, now he's going to start to bile down this base. Getting some pot shots off with the Banshee, but the Queen getting some hits in as well. Oh,
you can't... cloak that Banshee.
Yeah, it's got 1 HP. It's got 1 HP. Oh, he gets the repair down, but this is such a tight hold here for Kilmanjaro. The CC finishes. The biles are raining down on it. He's trying to transform it. He's not going to be able to. He needs to... Oh, you need to cancel that and move it. You can't let it get biled down. Okay, okay. Okay, he gets it out of the way in time. Oh my goodness. At this point, Kilmanjaro, he's just got to bottle up and hold this. I mean, 3 CCs, a battlecruiser on the way. Ooh.
Could you imagine if this Banshee was cloaked and not taking any damage?
He canceled Cloak, I believe. Yeah, he canceled Cloak.
He canceled Cloak?
He canceled Cloak to get he canceled Cloak to get the BCs.
I don't think he's thought this through clearly. I don't know.
I mean, there'd still be the Spore though, right? So he'd still see it.
So this proxy base is actually pretty safe with if there's like one more Spore and one more Queen here, it can defend against the BC.
Yeah, oh, great control on the biles here. He's going to get that depot. Once this battlecruiser comes out, though, the game does change a little bit here. Kilmanjaro, having that BC, it's a massive tool at his disposal. And even if he holds here, right, a double expand behind this from Stickspender, and with this creep spread, it's going to be a while before we see Kilmanjaro get bases up that aren't his main.
That said, these 2 bases are hugely vulnerable, as is the main.
Yeah, oh, here comes the BC.
Sure, but there's a lot of transfuse here. 3 Queens are out, as well as a Spore, and there's no Yamato cannon to take care of the Queens efficiently. That said, Kilmanjaro can camp the mineral line from the high ground while getting off constant repair on the BC. Stickspender built that Spore in an unnecessarily dangerous location. He needs to start dropping transfuse and doing it now.
Ooh. Okay, there we go. We see the transfuse go off on one of the Queens and on the Spore. And this BC's down to half health. I think he probably wants to dedicate some repair to it, but his gas count is super low. I mean, he scans the main. Oh, that's a lot of Spores. Okay.
Sticks really needs to start droning and droning hard. This contain is now on a timer, and he needs to get out of Spire. He needs to go into, I would say, Muta. You can also go Mass Corruptor and start using your acid spray on the CCs of your opponent as he tries to push out, but he needs to do that. No matter what, he needs to drone up, needs to go Spire behind this, needs to get those Spores out, because this contain isn't going to last forever.
Yeah, you're 100% right, especially with him able to repair the BC. He can come in, deal damage, and then back out and repair. But all this time on one base is really rough on Kilmanjaro. That's Mules mining out, meaning when he gets another base established, he's not going to be on 2 base. He's going to be on like 1.5, you know? I mean, just taking a look at the main. He's pretty mined out.
I disagree with you a little bit there, Revolt, because he can just float all these CCs to whatever base he wants to, right? So he can totally sack his main if he can be on 3 base full saturation.
Yeah, but with Ling speed, Roach speed, and Mutas, I mean, Kilmanjaro's going to have the army in a straight-up fight, but it looks like Styx is going to have the kind of the mobility control, which means that if Kilmanjaro tries to take bases that are too far out of the way, that opens up the door for Stickspender to start being really, really annoying with these mobile units, you know?
Styx needs to start marching these Queens home for added defense. This contain it's over, it's done. The Ravagers are just going to die here for no reason if he doesn't move out.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to dive him in, whiffing the biles. He's going to bleed out a few more of them, and yeah, like you said...
there's no need for this! This is a lot of units gone for Stickspender.
Yeah, a few of these extra Ravagers. And again, considering, I mean, his economy is very poor right now, he has the opportunity. Oh, there's the warp across from the BC, though. And as you said, that base is not at all defended. There's no spores, there's no queens. They're coming, but I mean, they're about a million years away. He has to unburrow the spores or something. Although Kilmanjaro is going for the overlords, I don't know if I like that decision. He's got so many spores in the main. I think you move 2 of them down to the net at this point.
I think you need to do a careful balancing act of repositioning, because you don't want the battle cruiser to grab those spores as they're walking. But there's enough corruptors here to.
Ren, yeah, this BC doesn't have a teleport. It's just dead. Boom.
Yep.
And that's a huge deal.
Well, there's a second BC coming back at home. It should be able to defend against. Stickspender isn't. Is he going to? Yeah, he is going to send out the corruptors to try and get an acid spray on one of these CCs. But Kilmanjaro can just repair this BC, and that makes it invincible to this low a corruptor count.
Yeah, Kilmanjaro dropped a scan, though, but there's still a creep tumor at the back of the natural that's going to be annoying enough to stop this base from landing at least right away. And he's going to have to wait until these missile turrets clear out, and then he can kind of clear it. Oh.
Kilmanjaro,
oh, no,
repair.
No.
Repair Kilmanjaro. Okay.
He teleports it across his base back to repair. Okay. Oh, and actually he needs to be very careful because
he's not repairing.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. There we go. There he's repairing. He's repairing it with everything. Okay, it's back to full.
Here's the cyclone that will zone out the.
Oh no! If he cancels Magfield, if he could,
cyclone's not engaging the.
He cancels Magfield. Oh my gosh, Red! What are we watching? Magfield is such an important upgrade. Now, a lot of these corruptors, actually, it looks like all of them should probably go down here after these lock-ons. Maybe one will escape. Actually, 2 very bruised corruptors will escape. But at this point, I mean, let's look back at home here for Stickspender. He's way oversaturated on the natural. He can move some of those drones up to the 3rd. And if he starts macroing up really hard now, he's in a decent spot. Oh my goodness. This is why I love StarCraft, man. How often as much StarCraft as between the two of us we play and watch, how often do you see a game that goes like this, you know?
Yeah.
There's always a game out there that's new and unique and can surprise you, and I think that the tag of unique certainly applies to this game.
Well, yeah, when you're not casting a Protoss versus Protoss, that definitely can happen. Where things are varied.
Very, very true, Renegade. Very true. But now I feel like we get into a very odd position. Kilmanjaro is going to get 3 bases up. And he's going to get into the play. And I feel like, weirdly, we might have somewhat of a normalization of this game right now. As both players are going to get their 3 bases up, I expect Sticks to get another base up soon. This BC is kind of going for some damage. It might get a Ravager, but it shouldn't be able to get too much more with these Corruptors here.
It does have teleport.
Oh, but it dies! It dies!
Yeah, I think Stickspender has too much. He can just sit at 50 workers if he wants to and go for an... Or he can take a... Oh, he's pretty supply blocked.
Yeah, but and this defensive setup is pretty strong, right? This army can't bust this. He's got too many tanks, too many Cyclones.
Well, there are
Yeah, the Corruptors, but there's Cyclones. The Cyclones will be able to zone out the Caustic Sprayer. They should be able to. With repair. Here we go. The Caustic Spray is going down on the natural, and that damage ramps up real quick. Let's wait for...
Yeah, Kilmanjaro isn't... I don't know if he's not used to using Cyclones or whatever, but his response time is really slow here, so this is going to delay some mining. It's going to cost more precious minerals, and those are minerals Kilmanjaro needs to be spending on massing up his army supply. Look at all these turrets that are forced everywhere. 2 more turrets going down. That's a huge investment for a Terran that was already playing from behind.
Yeah, and to be fair to Kilmanjaro here, I mean, I don't even know if it's about his familiarity with the units, but more about when a game gets this weird, all of your reactions and everything you conventionally know get thrown off a little bit, you know? Typically, players have an idea of how a game's supposed to go, and this game has not gone that way. But here's a huge Hellion run by into a way oversaturated third base, and this could be exactly the move that Kilmanjaro needs to get back into this game. 10 workers go down so far, 13. And
as bad as that sounds, Kilmanjaro sacked 4 lings into the mineral line of, or Stickspender sacked 4 lings into the mineral line of Kilmanjaro. His tank friendly fire, 8 SCVs and 3 mules. So it actually ended up being an even trade.
Yeah, but looking at the worker count, I mean, right now it's 50 to 47 for Kilmanjaro. That doesn't even factor in 3 CC of mules. At the way things are right now, there are a lot more drones about to pop here for Stickspender, but I mean, an even worker economy between a Mech Terran and a Zerg, that is hugely in the favor of the Mech Terran, generally.
Yes and no. A Zerg can get this initial max out and crush a Mech Terran. Stickspender is going to hit 200 supply way earlier than Kilmanjaro is, and that's going to be his time to strike with this Roach Ravager.
This lock-on, though. Oh, he gets it. Yeah, keeps all of the Cyclones alive as well. What a great pickoff there. Stickspender definitely needs that 4th base to utilize effectively the army that he's got, you know? Oof.
If only those spines had been rerouted at the 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. And it looks like Kilmanjaro's going to shark around the bottom side now, try and clear out some of this creep, maybe block another base from getting up. And I mean, if he micros properly, Roach Ravager should never really catch these Cyclones. So, considering that, I mean, he will probably have proper control, he should be able to get some more value out of them while they're out on the map.
Okay, Kilmanjaro is going for a 4th CC. This is a little bit of a risky maneuver. He's going to try to drop it down here to the high yield, very likely. But that's going to stretch his forces a little bit thin for a while. Oh, no, he's going to take the high ground. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and now Hive on the way for Kilmanjaro, so that tech is certainly going to diversify itself a little bit as he gets that hard tier 3 army. But to be fair, he's going to need it. Kilmanjaro's been allowed to get up a strong mech army here. The tank count isn't quite at the level where he wants to push, but it's getting there. With 3 to 5 more tanks, Kilmanjaro's going to put out a push that Roach Ravager is going to have a very hard time stopping. It's going to be the type of push that you really want some sort of tier 3 to stop, be it Vipers, be it Broodlords, or something along that line, you know?
That is true. However, Stickspender has a couple options here. There's a very unlikely one where he uses his massive gas bank to go for a huge wave while Stickspender pushes into him, and the Cyclones have to either engage the Muta or the Roach Ravager on the ground, and if you have 20 Muta on the field, that can definitely overwhelm this high tank, high Hellion force. The other option is, of course, Broodlords. But Kilmanjaro should be scouting this Hive tech, or should know that Stickspender has it and be switching into Thor production very soon. As a matter of fact, we're going to see the first Thor hit the field.
Yeah, 13 more Ravagers. That leads me to believe he's going to be going not into the Mutalisk option. It looks like the Greater Spire, which kind of fits. He's already got that Corruptor count established, so the transition to Broodlords is a little bit more streamlined.
I think Stickspender needs to split up his forces and come in from behind here to catch out this battle.
Every Ravager that dies there is a huge... It's 100 gas, right? It's effectively losing a Mutalisk, because every Ravager lost, and he bled out a fair few there already.
Is it, though?
What?
It is. It is.
Yeah, it's 75-25 and then 25-75.
But is it, though?
Yes, absolutely. Didn't play into the meme that time, Ren. But here we go. Here's the push from Kilmanjaro, and this is where the big questions are going to be asked of Stickspender. This is hitting right as his Greater Spire is close to finishing. We're about to see some really tight timings here, Ren.
Look how vulnerable this is going to be to Broodlords. If Kilmanjaro morphs these Corruptors instantly, he needs to...
Yeah, here comes a little bit of the first initial round of the engagements. The Biles are going to take out a Cyclone. Like you said, there are the Broodlords.
He's not morphing the Corruptors. There it is.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Yeah, he's morphing them in. But again, there are Thors coming up, but they're coming up behind this push.
He needs to keep trading. He needs to keep trading out this Roach Ravager so he can morph more Broodlords.
Yeah, here's the big siege up. Ooh. 6 Broodlords about to hit the field, and 6 Broodlords can definitely deal with this low of a Thor count. That isn't even in high impact payload mode. But here we go. The big engagement going in. It looks like a lot of the Roach Ravagers is going to get cleared out, but with these Broodlords, they might go uncontested.
So many Biles hit that Thor. That was the only anti-error here for Kilmanjaro. He needs to retreat now.
Yep, he does. He unsieges. He's getting out of here, and he's going to rely... Oh, actually, he's sieging 3 tanks in the background. They are just going to die. I think he's okay with that, though. The tank count is still pretty high. And there are Thors coming out now. And keeping in mind, let's look at the upgrades. 1-1 on those Broodlings, +1 air armor, but no air upgrades. To the 2-2 Thors... I mean, there's 4 Thors on the way, or 4 Thors on the field, 3 more on the way.
Well, there's going to be Roach Ravager on the ground here for Stickspender, which means if the Thors are engaging the Broodlords, they're eating Corrosive Bile. That's the game that needs to be played here by Stickspender. Unfortunately, he built Lings, so he doesn't have supply to spend on Ravagers.
Yeah, and so much of how this fight goes is going to come down to who takes the better engagement, as is very common with mech play. There's a big enough tank count here to clear out these Roaches and Ravagers on the ground. And these Thors can deal with the Broodlords, but that relies on Kilmanjaro taking a favorable engagement, which is going to rely largely on his positioning.
Stickspender, well, there's another thing here that's going on as well. Kilmanjaro has very okay, this is...
oh, no.
There's nothing to kill the Vikings.
Oh, that's a very good point, and that means these Vikings are going to get 2 to 4 free Broodlords before these Queens are even in range. Oh, I don't think he needed to back off there.
But, well, the thing I was about to mention during that engagement is all these bases are vulnerable. The 3rd and the 4th are not planetaries, so this Roach push is going to do a little bit of damage, actually a lot of damage, 15 SCVs going down. That said, Kilmanjaro can actually bleed off these SCVs and just not replace them because he has so many orbitals on the field, and he's going to want to be going into a bigger army. But if, you know, there's a bad engagement for Stickspender here, look at that mineral bank. He can go for attack speed Lings. Does he have it on the field already? He does not. But if he researches that technology, he can just, you know, remax on Lings while he rebuilds his gas bank and go take out this top left corner orbital. Go get a wraparound on the singular planetary of Kilmanjaro, take out the missile turrets, etc., and soften him up for the next wave of major Zerg units.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Zerg, a huge part of it is that counterattack potential, and these Roaches are going to force Kilmanjaro off of this top left-hand base, but at the same time, there's a big push going on. He's starting to get Infestors and Neural Parasite, but until that's up, this is going to be a little bit of a dicey engagement. Here we go. The Broodlords are actually kind of getting shredded by the Thors, but the Roaches are hugging...
The tanks aren't sieged. The Roaches are absolutely decimating the Thors here, and while the Broodlord count is getting diminished, the Vikings will go down as well. And remember, Stickspender is going to be able to instantly remax on Ling.
Well, it looks like he's getting mainly Roaches, and there's still a decently high tank count, enough to really soften this up. And with all those Broodlords going down, I don't know if Stickspender has an answer to this high-value mech army. Oh my goodness. The Corruptors are going to come in and pick off a Viking, but again, his remax is primarily Roaches. He's getting 1 Broodlord now, but there's some Infestors and Lings, and I mean, tanks are good against all those things, pretty much.
Well, tanks are not good against neural parasited Thors.
Well, that's true.
Infestors do we have on the field? I think just 2, maybe?
3. It looks like 3 in total, yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 is enough to actually tip the balance in Stickspender's favor.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to have to see the engagement now.
Those Lings are wrapping on the Thors as well, making them eat tank shots. So 2 of them do go down.
Oh, but great targeting. Great targeting down the Infestors there. Oh my goodness, and I think that has tipped the favor, finally in Kilmanjaro's favor, after a long game.
At the same time, a Roach counterattack is hitting that softened up orbital, and Stickspender is expanding to the left side. So while he is down, he is not out.
Yeah, but Kilmanjaro has so many bases up right now. He's got that 4th up top. He's got another one that he's mining at as well, even though it is scouted. And more importantly, he needs to get these Thors and tanks off of his production. If he doesn't do that very soon, he's just going to be building units into straight death, and his mineral income right now is flat 0 with 39 minerals. I don't see how he stops this army.
Oh, all these drones. most of Stickspender's economy is in the back left corner of this natural.
Yeah. Oh, no, the corruptors.
Oh, no, he tried to target down the 1 health Thor, but he lost everything for it.
Yeah, and at this point, right, even if he wipes this army, I mean, economically, Stickspender is screwed. He's got no mining bases. He's just reestablished 1 hatch outside of his main. And his main itself is getting camped. That's the tech that's going to go down. Oh my gosh, if these drones try and escape, they're going to get shredded by tanks. Kilmanjaro is maxed, yes. Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of manner signal to leave the game.
Yeah.
Which is going to make Stickspender not leave the game.
Little bit. Yeah, I mean, GG is called. He played a good game and a good series, and he certainly produced an entertaining game 3 there. But Kilmanjaro is going to have the quality to pull it out there, and he's going to move on to face Alex.
Well, do we know? Okay, who does Stickspender now face?
Stickspender is going on to face the loser of Steven versus whoever loses of Wrath and Newbreed. So either Wrath or Newbreed.
Okay, that seems like a pretty even match.
Yeah, it's certainly one that's in his punch-up distance.
If Stickspender goes Protoss, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyway, that, I believe, is going to conclude our matches for the evening. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. If you haven't yet, be sure to drop a follow and check out Renegade's stream at twitch.tv/RenegadeX. RenegadeX Studios?
Make sure you subscribe to Revolt SC2.
Don't subscribe to me. Subscribe to Ren. Don't subscribe to me. Don't do it. I'll ban you from... If you subscribe to me, I'll ban you.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
Don't do it, guys. Don't.
Don't do it. But anyway, that's going to call it for now. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your evening.